Yes, guys, welcome back to the Irish Hotspur with your boy Big Dave, bringing you your predicted lineup as Tottenham host Everton in what will be the penultimate game before Christmas, and a chance for us to go with 3 wins on the bounce. Also, with Man City not playing this weekend, a victory would put us inside the top four, which will be absolutely brilliant. But also, Liverpool and Arsenal play each other this weekend, so if we win, it will be an opportunity to close the gap on either one of them or both of them, with us only being 6 points off top as it stands today. So look, big game. Let's get into it and let's see what Postecoglou, or I think what Postecoglou is going to pick, that I think is going to deliver us Spurs fans 3 points and a place inside top four for Christmas. So let's go and get straight into it. And of course, the man of the hour, the man of the moment, and it is Guglielmo Vicario in goals. Of course, added another unbelievable save right at the depth against Nottingham Forest, who he's already incredible highlight reel this season. He's been absolutely phenomenal. Now, he is going to be tested, of course, a lot from set pieces. In this game, Sean Dyche against Burnley, he just put the ball on top of the goalkeeper, got the likes of Onana, Decore, Tarkowski, Braithwaite, people like that, just to throw themselves at it. So he's going to be put under pressure there. However, he kept his fifth clean sheet of the season against Nottingham Forest. And what I loved after the game is that he pulled the whole back line, the two fullbacks, two centre-backs in to celebrate it, which I absolutely love. And I do hope he gets his sixth clean sheet of the season against Everton tomorrow, because if he does, it means at least we get a result out of the game. Now, moving on to left back, one of two changes in the side because, of course, Destiny Udogie is suspended after picking up 5 yellow cards. So no surprise here. We're going to bring back in Emerson Royal. Look, Emerson Royal, I think, gets a bit of a hard sort of deal at Tottenham from Tottenham fans. I think when he stepped in, no matter where he's been asked to step in this season, whether it's been right back, centre back, or left back, defensively he hasn't committed any errors that have sort of cost us a game or cost us a goal. And for me, absolutely reliable when he steps in there. I think Ange Postecoglou will put him in there. I know some people maybe make shouts to move Ben Davies out to left back. However, he's played left back a couple of times this season, and it's clear that he just doesn't have the legs to play in that position or to meet Postecoglou's demands of what he expects from the player in that position, constantly bombing up and down. Because when he did play there against Palace and Fulham in the Carabao Cup, Van Ven found himself out there covering them nearly all night long. So Ben Davies, for me, should be kept in at left-sided centre-back with Emerson Royal coming in at left-back. However, what I will say about Emerson is he has to be absolutely technically brilliant in this game. That's one thing where I maybe think the criticism is sort of warranted against Man City. Progressing the ball out from centre-back wasn't good enough. The game against Fulham maybe wasn't as good on the ball, so he will need to be absolutely technically excellent. But the main thing is, if he's stepping in at left side, left back, and he's right-footed, just don't cost us any goals. That's all I ask. After that, just find a player in the white shirt and let them crest the ball and create the creativity like they're paid to do. Now, moving on to left-sided centre-back. And of course, like I alluded to, I will keep Ben Davies at left-sided centre-back. He's had absolutely 2 great performances, one at Newcastle, one at Nottingham Forest. Hopefully, this is him maybe starting to turn a corner and getting used to sort of Ange Postecoglou, his tactics and what he demands from his centre-backs. Hopefully, he puts in another great performance, another good shift here. All he has to do is get us to January unscathed until we can get another centre-back in here. So let's see how he gets on. Hopefully another good performance from Ben Davies. I do worry about the height of our backline. Royal, Davies, Vicario isn't the biggest of goalkeepers either. Romero and Porro from set pieces. Maybe something we need to sort of be clued in from. And also Ben Davies, remember against Aston Villa, lost his man from that free kick in the box. And Everton will look to exploit them. So he'll have to stay switched on from set pieces, which I'd say is one of his biggest weaknesses. Now moving on to his partner in crime at right-sided centre-back, and we are going to stick with the Rombom. Now, he's another player still walking a tightrope on 4 yellow cards. If he picks up one more, he will miss the game just after Christmas on the 28th versus Brighton. So it's important that he tries to get through this game without picking up a yellow. However, I'm not sure we'll get 2 games on the trot with him without picking up a yellow. And I have no doubt Sean Dyche will tell his players, wind them up at every opportunity you get. So he's going to have to be aware of that and stay switched on. However, what I will say, if he takes a yellow card for the team at a crucial time, or, to bring someone down on the counter or something like that, I have no problem with it, and I will not get on his case whatsoever. Now, moving on to right back, and I'm not sure what more I can say about the Porronator, aka Bend It Like Porro. Sounds like a porn star there, really, doesn't he? Bend It Like Porro. But the guy, best right back in the league. What I will say, though, is he's an absolute important part to play in today's game in terms of going forward. Defensively, we already know he's solid. He's already answered all them questions. Going forward, we know he's solid. But the reason why I say he's got an important part to play in terms of in possession today is in terms of the crossing ability that he possesses. Bend it like Porro, one of the best crossers I've seen of a ball since David Beckham. Absolutely unbelievable. You go back to the Newcastle game, even the angles of the balls over the top he can play for someone like Richarlison. This Everton defence is going to be stubborn, and we're going to need his quality hitting them balls in from the right-hand side, and hopefully, create a few opportunities for the likes of Richarlison and stuff like that. He's going to be absolutely crucial in that regard. Now, moving on to the guy tasked to keep everything together, and again, it's another change, one of two changes in this team, because Bissouma, of course, decided to go and pick up a red card, which puts him out for 4 games plus AFCON. So there's a real chance for whoever plays in this position, whether it be Hojbjerg, Skipp, or another alternative, there's going to be a run of games here for them. There's going to be a run of at least 4 to 8 games, maybe, even until Bentancur gets back, for them to be able to show Postecoglou what they can do, for them to be able to show that they are here for the cause and where we want to go. A huge opportunity, and I would hope whoever takes that up, or whoever is given that opportunity, whoever it is, would be absolutely licking their lips and chomping at the bit to show us what they're made of. Now, for me, this position simply comes down to, who do I trust more to be able to get on the ball and progress that ball? Also, add a bit of protection for that back line. And when I look at both of them areas, for me, it has to be Pierre-Emile Hojbjerg. And the reason why I say that is Ollie Skipp, one of his biggest weaknesses is on the ball. If you remember last season, towards the end of the season, he ended up getting caught on the ball from a throw-in because he couldn't get under control. Now, with the way we play, we expect that player in this holding position to be able to come and demand that ball off the centre-backs, get turned, and basically start progressing that ball out to the wings or further into midfield. Ollie Skipp just doesn't have that capability, and we haven't seen it from him either. Hojbjerg does, and we've seen that from him. Now, I take the argument Hojbjerg is, a more of an impact off the bench this season than what he has been starting. He's actually been a bit lackluster when he started games. But one thing I think I actually like about him that I think he doesn't get enough credit for is his passing. Is it as consistent as others? No. But is it more consistent than Ollie Skipp's? Yes. And for me, it's about what is less detrimental for Tottenham. And I think Hojbjerg is my answer for that. So I'm putting him in there. Now, look, what I will say, if he doesn't start, I believe Ange Postecoglou has already sort of asked him to stay here beyond January. If Ollie Skipp is thrown in ahead of him, it's not because the performance Ollie Skipp put in at Middlesbrough. Make no mistake about it, that was absolutely atrocious, zero impact whatsoever. It's purely because Hojbjerg probably has said to Postecoglou, look, I want out. So with AFCON coming up, with us already losing Bissouma and Sarr, he's going to have to rely on somebody. And if Hojbjerg doesn't want to be here and Skipp does, that's the only way I really see Skipp starting over Hojbjerg tomorrow. So let's wait and see what happens on that. But let me know your thoughts on that as well, people, in the comments below. Now moving on to the right centre of midfield, and it's also the star boy, has to retain his place. Believe it or not, I think this guy is the glue to that midfield. When he hasn't been there, we went on a run of games where we weren't picking up results, but we were being countered on very, very easily. Since he's come back in, results have picked up, and a large part of that is because the amount of ball he turns over, but also he has more legs than anybody else in that midfield. He covers more ground than anybody else in that midfield. And when he's not playing, all of their sort of defensive flaws are exposed. When he plays, he covers them up, helps Porro down that right-hand side, helps protect that back line, but also can sniff a turnout higher up the pitch, which also leads to chances as well. So since he's come back into the side, there's a direct correlation with the results we're producing as well. So for me, he is the glue to that midfield. Now moving on to the left-sided centre of midfield, the guy that we tasked with creativity, and I am going to bring Kulu back in here because I'm hoping Brendan Johnson is available to start. When it comes to Kulusevski, we're going to need the sort of industrious nature of the guy. He's a big guy, physical guy. It's going to be a tough fight in that midfield. Everton have some big guys in there, Onana, Decore, people like that. And also, it's his relentless running. But what we need to see more from him is, or well, not more because he's actually produced it, is the creativity. That's what we're going to rely on him mostly for in today's game. Getting at the ball, driving at people, taking them out of the game, and use that wonderful left foot of his. Kulusevski has created more chances from open play than any other Premier League player this season. So it goes to show how effective he is. 1 goal, 1 assist last weekend. I'm hoping that he can build on that. But if this guy wants to add more goals playing through the middle, I have the solution for it. If anyone remembers, take yourself back to what Dele Alli used to do when he was playing with Harry Kane. Harry Kane would make a run. Dele Alli would often make a run in behind him and wait for any scraps or anything like that to come his way. And he bagged about 5-10 goals a season just doing that alone. Especially when that ball hits Porro out on the right-hand side, or Brennan Johnson, but more so Porro from a deeper sort of position crossing that ball. I want to see Kulusevski making them second man runs in behind Richarlison like Dele Alli used to do. And he will pick up 5 to 10 goals. He'll add more goals to his game doing that through the middle. Plus, it gives us a bit more of a aerial threat in there as well when we are lumping balls in there. So I'd love to see him have the nous to make second-hand runs in behind Richarlison. I guarantee you he'll pick up more goals. Let me know your thoughts on that below. Also, moving on to, well, I've already given away who I think will be on the right wing. So, of course, Brennan Johnson. Now, this guy, what I've seen from him this season, I've gone back and sort of watched all these highlights. He's a goal threat. He's got a good shot on him. He's a bit of a goal threat. But where he lets himself down for me is that creativity, that final ball, especially the crossing department. If he can add that to his game, like Gareth Bale sort of added to his game, that being able to find people from the left-hand side with that wonderful left foot he had. If Brennan Johnson can add that to his game, the ceiling is the absolute limit for this guy. And that, I think, is probably one of his biggest weaknesses, is his crossing ability. Improve on that, we've got one hell of a player on our hands. Now, moving over onto left wing, and of course, it is Captain Fantastic. Been absolutely superb this season. The last 2 victories, he's been absolutely instrumental. Since Postecoglou took him out in the middle and moved him out to the left, he is the sole purpose of why we end up getting the results we've got the last 2 games. Because he's picking up the ball and he's driving at players. He's driving the full back into his own box where they don't want to go. He's getting crosses in. Against Forest, he started whipping in crosses when no one else was. And just sort of putting pressure on that back line, giving them something to think about. And then everyone else seems to follow suit. Once he started doing it, Kulu started doing it. And others started doing it. So he's absolutely crucial in that regard. But what I would love to sign off for Christmas is a trademark Son goal. Cutting in off that left and banging one in top bins with that right. I'd absolutely love it. One thing he also does, which I don't think has been highlighted yet, is when you play him out left, teams double up on him and they tend to go 2 or 3 at a time. Newcastle tried it, Forest tried it. But what it actually does is it creates more space in the middle. So if we can get the ball out to Son, get them to double up, and he can play into people in and around that middle area, we'll have so much more space, which means we can create a lot more clear-cut chances than what we already are. Just something to think about, just watch it. When they double up on them, because when they do that through the middle, they block up the middle, which is ideally where we want to go. When they do that out left, it opens up the middle. So, absolutely huge credit to Sonny, especially when he's in that sort of form that he's been in the last 2 games. They've no option but to double up on him because they just rip the fullback apart. So, look, I'd love an absolute trademark goal from Sonny tonight to round off before Christmas. And then that brings me to the man of the moment. Absolute great celebration after the goal. The little absolutely loved it. Brilliant from Richarlison. 3 goals in his last 2 games. Absolutely brilliant. And plus, he's going up against his former club today. What I will say is just don't do anything stupid, Richarlison. I know he's going to be chomping at the bit. He's going to be eager, which means he might be caught offside more than usual because of his eagerness to try and score against everything. Because he's going to be out there with a point to prove that he did make the right decision, leaving Everton and making that step up to Tottenham. And I think also if he does bag a goal and help us on our way to victory yet again, it might actually alleviate a bit of pressure on that's on him from the fans, but also from the media, the scrutiny. Look, it's absolutely nonsense that we're going to sell this guy in January. Son's gone to the Asian Games. We can't afford to sell him because we'd be left with no striker. So he's going to be here. But if he scores against Everton, that's 3 games on the bounce. He buys himself a bit of patience from the fan base. And that's all he can do right now is just keep buying himself a bit of patience till eventually he scored enough goals where you can turn around and say he's our guy. But again, I'd love nothing better to round off the Christmas time with a good shh followed by prue. It would be absolutely an amazing Christmas present. Sun banger with the camera and then a prue pigeon. Absolutely, I'd love that to sign off for Christmas. But lastly, guys, that's my predicted lineup. Please let me know in the comments what your predicted lineup is, what other changes you would make, anything you think I've missed. What do you think on my analysis of Kulusevski making late runs into the box, Son being double teamed down the left, which opens up more space down the middle? Let me know your thoughts on that. But I do want to say to every single one of you out there, the views, the likes, the comments on this predicted lineup has been absolutely insane all season long. And I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, I really appreciate it because I really do enjoy doing it. And look, when you don't get the likes and the comments and the views and stuff like that, it can be demoralizing. But you guys make it fun for me each week. You guys make it worth it for me to do each week. And I really enjoy doing it. So thank you very much for absolutely all your support on these videos. And hopefully we continue on over the festive period and well on into the new year. But if we win, the title challenge is back on. And that's the best present that this Tottenham squad and Ange Postecoglou can give us going into the Christmas period. So come on, boys. Let's do it. Don't let us down. Let's chew them toffees up. That's what they're designed to do. That's why they're called the toffees, because they're weak. Hard exterior, but weak through the middle. Soft. So let's expose that. Put 3 points on the board and put our feet up and hopefully watch Arsenal lose to Liverpool. As always, come on, you Spurs. In your mighty Ange Postecoglou, we trust. We never stop. Let's go. See you 11 a.m. tomorrow for the pre-match build-up.